You're welcome back. Well, the Lagos State government has said that it will alleviate poverty by using waste recycling processes to create jobs. This should happen by converting waste products into consumables in a bid to ensure the socio-economic development. Nigeria, with a population exceeding 200 million, is one of the largest producers of solid waste in Africa, although many may flee from the topic, saying it's dirty business. Some brave entrepreneurs have said it is gold mine. Someone who's been in the business of turning waste to wealth is Nina Ani, founder and chief executive officer of Avinam Links International Limited. And she joins us to tell us some of their findings and what they are doing, turning waste into jobs and money. Good morning, Nina.
Morning.
Good to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So I know I met you when I covered the Kirikiri biofuel, where biofuel is turned to energy. And that was really impressive. I don't know how, I mean, then the promise was that it would be circulated to other correctional centers in the country. You were the one coordinating that project at that time. Have we been able to spread it to other parts of the country?
Yeah, actually, 2 years back, we replicated same projects in Enugu, Gombe, and Lafia. Presently, they are using the human waste, which is creating a lot of nuisance to them, to generate cooking gas within the correctional center. So what they did at Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison, they've replicated at, Gombe, Enugu, and still there are other states they also want to replicate same projects.
So that is turning waste to energy.
Yeah.
Cooking gas, you
Cooking
said.
gas. Yeah. You know, the gas you generate, the biogas you produce from waste, you can either use it to generate electricity or you can use it as cooking fuel. So it depends on what the individual, the company or the farmer or whoever that is putting this plants, what they need the energy for. So the good thing is that you can use the energy, the biogas to run a generator, a biogas generator, or you use it as a cooking fuel in the kitchen.
And this is a win-win in a lot of situations because it's clean energy.
Yeah.
It's clean energy. You're taking care of the waste, and then you're reducing costs, and the emissions into the air. But let's also look at the job creation opportunities in this sector. What do you see as an insider?
It's really huge. It's huge. But first, businesses like this requires a lot of capital to establish in a commercial scale. What we've been doing is building for individuals. There are some farmers that will come and say, okay, I have 10,000 birds. I'm just digging pits and storing my waste. It's constituting nuisance to the farm. We want to cut down on our operational expenses. We want to manage our waste on site. So we build for individuals, they manage their waste on site. They cut down on their operational expenses, not buying diesel and petrol anymore. So, but if we have maybe a kind of a private government partnership, public-private partnership, where a commercial size plant is put in place, of course, we'll be able to employ a lot of people, starting from waste sorting, waste preparation before you feed into the plant. And when this gas is generated, it can be compressed into cylinders. And we all know the price of gas right now. Your source of raw material is waste, always available. We can compress it into cylinder. There will be a lot of people will be employed, to run this plant, starting from the waste collection up to the point of, logistics of distributing the waste, and also, it's a win-win thing. So the value chain is value chain is really huge. It's large. People who collect waste get some stipends for waste distribution, or coming to drop it at the site where the commercial plant is. Then people who are going to run the plant, operate the plant, also earn some income working in such places. People who are going to distribute, there will be drivers. There will also be people who are already selling LPG gas who can also be off-takers or distributors of this same gas, So there is huge employment Employment can be created from that.
One thing you said that has caught my attention is the reduction in operational costs. You know, that will sound good to, I mean, this is a business show. You have a lot of business people who would be interested in that. But that would also mean, or somewhere in my mind, it tells me the overhead cost is going to be expensive. It's going to be high.
Yeah. Okay, yes, actually it's a capital intensive project. In other parts of the country, not the other parts of the world, for instance, in Nepal, where this technology started from, their government subsidize, when they get farmers who are interested in building this plant, they give them a kind of subsidy to enable them, pay the rest of the money, maybe 30%. Government pay as much as 70%. The farmers pay 30% to own the plant, the system. So this way they were able to, spread it out across and help the farmers, to earn more revenue from their farm, not just from selling their animals, but also even from the waste they are producing. They are also generating additional revenue. Some of them also generate organic fertilizer, which they also use for agricultural purpose. So it's really a win-win thing. If government can come in, well, we always call government,
Exactly.
but,
and government will tell you they have a lot to do.
They have a lot
so
to do.
Can we get the private sectors to come together, get like 3 or 4 large-scale farmers, to come together and handle this?
The thing is, the project can pay back. Whatever investment you put, no matter how huge it is, the bigger the plant, the more economically viable the project is. The smaller it is, it takes longer time to recover your investment. But if we have a commercial size, within 3-4 years, you have recovered your investment. So it now boils down to getting the funding maybe to fund these farmers. Quite a number. I get like over 30 inquiries. Maybe in a month, let me not exaggerate so much, maybe about 25 inquiries in a month from different farmers who are interested in this project, including individual homes who wants to manage their kitchen waste and generate their own cooking gas from the comfort of their home.
Is the waste from a kitchen enough to...
For a home?
Yes.
It's enough to give you 2 hours of cooking gas.
Oh.
Yes, you can get 2 hours of cooking gas using 1 burner, and 1 hour of cooking gas using 2 burners in a day, using just your kitchen waste. But again, the waste that could have gone to the dump site have been diverted. We reduce the volume of organic waste going to the dump site. It will be managed from the comfort of your home, and you don't have smelly dustbins and all that. So if funding can come to private companies who are interested in this, installing such projects, the project can pay back from the gas they generate, from offsetting the expenses they would have been, or what they would have been spending on petrol, on diesel, those that are involved in crop farming, buying fertilizer, chemical fertilizer. They can use organic fertilizer from their farm, from the plant as well.
What about the maintenance of this facility? What does it require? How expensive or inexpensive? How much experts' attention does it need? Because these are some of the things that people will have to consider.
Okay, fine. That is why what we're doing is a customized system. We're not just bringing the plants they build in Germany, what they build in other parts of the world, and bring them in here to do the same thing. We look at our weather condition, customize the plant in such a way that you will require less moving parts. When you have less moving parts, you have less maintenance costs for such plants. So the maintenance for a biogas system is really minimal because there are less moving parts. And again, if we use more of local material in our production, that way it brings down, you don't have to import so much, for maintenance. You practically don't need to bring in anything for maintenance. And when we build the plant, we train the owners on how to use the plant and how to maintain it. Once in a year, we, just visit the place to see if everything is okay, and just do like an annual maintenance for them to keep it running. Just like what you saw at Kirikiri, it's about 6 years, it's still running because, there is that maintenance agreements that have been put in place. And, it has also empowered the inmates as well. because uh, some of them are earning salary from taking care of the plants. So that is creating job as well, even as much, I mean, right within the correctional center. They are creating job even for the inmates who are there.
So give us a fair idea. If a farmer, for instance, wants this facility to help, with all the advantages, what's the budget? An average budget,
Okay, for a home, an individual home, average budget is between 300 to 1.2 million, depending on the size. If you want it to also manage the toilet waste, about 300 to 1.5. Then for farmers, it also ranges from 1.5 million to, about 16 million. Then for those with very,
Yeah, the large
medium size, so
scale.
it's a different thing.
So what efforts have you done? I mean, you have a lot of ministries of agriculture who are looking for how to encourage. I mean, these days we have the challenge of power supply.
Yeah.
We have food security to deal with. We're looking for how to bring in more technology to the agriculture space. Have you had talks maybe with commissioners, at least if you haven't gotten to the federal yet, commissioners of agriculture, to see, or associations when it comes to the private sector of maybe rice farmers and stuff like that, to see if there's a way to...
Okay, yes, we've done, in the past, we did quite a lot. We actually started, all right, like after my studies, I came back to Nigeria in 2007. I registered a company in 2008. So I started with the government, Lagos State government, for instance, where we built our first plant at Okoba Abattoir during Fasholas, when Fashola was the governor of Lagos State. We presented the projects, it was interesting, and they said, okay, come and build a pilot plant, let's see how it works. And from there, we can see how to manage the entire waste at the abattoir. So we did that, but, after the pilots, we showcased how it can be used for animal skin burning, for electricity generation, for cooking gas and everything. But we could not scale it up to the commercial size because the banks didn't understand the technology and they could not fund it.
So funding
is still a major issue aside technical know-how. Funding is still a major issue. Yeah.
All right, I'll have to thank you so much, and do wish that there'll be more people embracing this, because it sounds like a win-win, even though I know that the capital might be high, but you have clean energy, you have energy coming, you're dealing with the issue of waste, and of course you're creating employment, for a whole lot of people. Thank you so much, Nina Ani, founder and chief executive officer of Avinam Links International Limited.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your day.
Thanks, and you too.
Yeah.